All right, let's get right into it. So many of us feel like we're stuck in these habits we just can't seem to shake, whether it's a small distraction or a full-blown addiction. What we're going to do here is lay out a really clear step-by-step plan for how to finally actually break free. Does this hit a little too close to home? You know that feeling, right? You can't even eat a meal without putting a video on. You find yourself scrolling through your phone and you don't even know why you picked it up. This quote just nails a feeling that so many of us have every single day. And really, it's the perfect place to start. Because this is the problem we're up against, the modern addiction trap. It's that awful feeling of being stuck in a loop. You desperately want out, but every morning it feels like you're right back at square one. It can feel like you're trying to run up a hill that just gets steeper and steeper. Now, this slide really lays out the stakes, doesn't it? It's like you're standing at a fork in the road. Down one path, letting these habits run your life leads to some pretty dark places. Isolation, wasted potential. But that other path? That's where the person you could be lives. Someone who's more productive, more confident, more ambitious, just genuinely happier. So to figure out how to get on that better path, we first have to understand what's happening inside our own heads. Seriously, once you get the why behind all this, the how to quit becomes so much easier. So let's talk about the science a bit. Okay, so it all starts with a little chemical called dopamine. When you do something that feels good, eat some amazing food, win a video game, get a notification, your brain gives you a little squirt of dopamine. That's the pleasure chemical. This is the up part of the roller coaster ride. Pretty simple, right? But here's the catch. Here's where the trap gets set. That amazing feeling, that high at the top of the ride, it doesn't come for free. And as we all know, what goes up must come down. And this is the part most of us miss. This is absolutely crucial. Your dopamine level doesn't just settle back to normal. No, it actually crashes and dips below your regular everyday baseline. There is a price to pay for that high, and this is it. You end up feeling worse than you did before you started. And this below baseline state, man, we've all been there. It's not just a neutral feeling, it's actively bad. It's that tired, foggy, what's the point kind of feeling. It's that I just want to rot in bed all day vibe. It's a state of pain and discomfort. So what does your brain do when it's in pain? It screams for a quick fix. It wants to get out of that miserable state as fast as possible. And what's the quickest way to do that? Yep, another hit of that same thing to spike your dopamine right back up. And boom, you are caught in an endless, vicious cycle, seeking pleasure to escape the pain that was caused by seeking pleasure in the first place. This is exactly why it's so hard to choose the good-for-you habits. Stuff like video games gives you a massive, super fast spike of dopamine, but the crash that follows is just as huge. So when you compare that to a slow dopamine activity like reading a book or going for a walk, well, of course it feels boring. Your brain has been trained to expect a rocket ship, not a casual stroll. Okay, so we get it. We understand the science behind the dopamine trap. It's a bit bleak, I know, but now for the good part. How do we actually get out? Let's get into the practical, step-by-step plan for breaking free for good. So here's the entire roadmap all in one place. It's a 6-step process that's going to take us from just realizing we have a problem all the way to making a lasting change. We'll start with self-awareness, then move to replacing the habit, finding an obsession, improving your mental health, changing your identity, and finally, what to do when you relapse. So let's start at the beginning. Step 1 is all about honesty. You have to admit there's a problem. Look, unwinding with a video game is not a bad thing in itself, but this quote just hits the nail on the head. It becomes a problem when you lose control, when the habit starts calling the shots, not you. Being honest with yourself about that is the absolute non-negotiable first step. All right, step 2, replace, don't just remove. This is a game changer. You can't just quit something that took up hours of your day and leave a giant, gaping hole in your life. That's a recipe for failure. You have to fill that void with a healthier, alternative source of dopamine. The author of this idea went from playing League of Legends for 8 hours a day to working out and learning everything about fitness. It gave him a new sense of progress and pleasure. Now, sometimes just a simple replacement isn't quite enough. So step 3 cranks it up to 11. The idea is to find a positive obsession, a goal or a project that's so big and exciting that it completely fills up your brain. For the author, it was starting a YouTube channel. When you're constantly thinking and scheming about your new passion, There's just no mental real estate left for the old addiction. Step 4 is all about building a solid foundation, because a lot of the time we fall into these bad habits to escape feeling bad in the first place. By working on our mental health through things like meditation, gratitude, actually talking to people, getting some sun, we naturally raise our baseline dopamine level. These things give you a slow, steady drip of feel-good chemicals, which means you won't feel that desperate craving for the quick, cheap highs. Okay, now we're at step 5. And honestly, this might be the most powerful tool in this entire explainer. This goes way beyond just changing your habits. This is about changing who you are at your core. So, what do you think it is? What is that one thing, that single most powerful force you have? The answer might surprise you. It's not willpower. We all know willpower runs out. The real answer is identity. Because here's the secret. People will always, always act in a way that is consistent with the person they believe themselves to be. If you want to change what you do, you have to first change who you think you are. And this slide just shows that shift perfectly. Look at the difference. If your identity is, I'm a person trying to quit video games, your whole life is a struggle. It's a constant battle. But if you decide your new identity is, I'm the type of person who has their life together, well then quitting is not even a question. It's a non-issue. A person like that just doesn't have that addiction. And finally, the last step. And this one is about being realistic and kind to yourself. Relapses are going to happen. It's part of the journey. The trick is to not see a slip-up as a total failure that sends you back to the very beginning. You have to forgive yourself. Recognize the progress you've already made. Maybe you went a whole week without it, and just get back on track. It's about progress, never perfection. So we'll end on this question because it really is what everything boils down to. This whole process isn't really about what you want to stop doing. It's about who you want to start being. So take a second and really think about that. Who is the ideal person you want to become? Because once you decide on that, you've already taken the most important step.